In our previous lesson, we saw how to style our HTML code using the internal CSS. We said that the internal CSS, we write the CSS in the head tag, and the CSS is written using the style tag. Right, the style tag is in the head tag. The CSS is written in the style tag. Alright, one disadvantage of this is that it can make your work is not really ideal. The CSS can be long and it can make your work to look very long and maybe tedious. But a better way is to have the CSS in a separate file outside the HTML file. Alright, then link it using the link tag. Alright, so your CSS can be all the CSS. If your CSS is very long, it may be cumbersome in the HTML file. So sometimes it's better you have the CSS in a separate file outside the HTML file. Then you just link it using the link tag. Alright, so this CSS that we have here, alright, let's preview it. So this CSS that we have here, we can take it outside this HTML file in a separate file. Alright, so how we do that, we can just let's see how the site looks like. Alright, you can see that the site is green and it positioned the image to the right. Alright, it positioned the image to the right. Now when we remove this CSS, if I cut it off, you can see that the site is not, the background color is no longer green and the image is no longer positioned to the right. Okay, so we can create a separate file, new file, I can call it styles.css. CSS files are saved as .css. Alright, so styles.css. Alright, you can equally place it in a folder, but let's just place it here. So you see we have styles.css. So let's just paste the CSS file that we cut here. Alright, so we don't need the styles tag anymore. We use the styles tag when we are using internal CSS. Right, our CSS is not still functioning, it's not affecting our HTML file because we've not linked it. So how we link it is we still link it in the head tag, but we're going to use the link tag, no longer the style tag. So once we've called the link tag, we are going to need two attributes. We said attributes are like adjective that describes the noun or that gives more information. So the tag is link, but we are going to need another tag called ref. Ref will tell the browser that we are making use of style sheets. So the browser will understand that we are not writing HTML here, though we are writing style sheet language. Then the second attribute will be the href that will tell the browser the location of our file, of our CSS file. Remember that CSS stands for cascading style sheet. So the ref tells the browser that what you're expecting is style sheet. All right, and then the href tells the browser the location of the style sheet. So the location of our style sheet is styles.css. All right. So once we close it, we expect our file to work normally. So let me go live. Okay, you can see that is the CSS is reflecting on our site again. All right, so if we just remove this line of code, the CSS will not work. But when we replace this line of code, the CSS will work. So you can see that our CSS is in a separate file, but it's affecting our HTML. So this is just the line of code that we need. Even if our CSS is very long, maybe 1000 lines, 2000 lines of code, it will not disrupt our HTML file. It will be on its own doing its function. All right, so that's how to make use of external CSS. In the next we'll see how to make use of inline CSS. So we just need to know them because we might need to make use of it, any of the methods, while designing our website. Thank you.